Bishop Michael Burrows is planning another peregrination around the diocese during this coming season of Lent. I thought it would be a good time to catch up with Bishop Michael and find out more about what his plans are. Well, I'm very pleased to have been joined by Bishop Michael Burrows, who is about to go peregrinating again, and peregrinating in 2026. What form is that going to take?
Well, you remember, Stephen, from time to time I like to peregrinate around the diocese. It's a funny word, I know, but I fell in love with it years ago, and I think other people have latched onto it now just out of curiosity in many ways. I'm never quite sure how to define it, but I think it means going on a sort of pilgrimage that has a sort of slightly kind of open to possibility aspect about it. So you never quite know what's going to happen next. So anyway, I like to peregrinate around the diocese from time to time.
Very good.
It gives me a chance to get everywhere in a concentrated period, to meet lots of people, to unite them in a common purpose of a charitable nature, which is particularly suitable for Lent when we're going to do it, when people often like to make special charitable efforts. And so this time, one has to have a theme, almost a gimmick, that gives it a focus. So the theme this time will be, last time I played the organ in every church. This time I'm asking at a venue in every parish that people gather vintage vehicles, and I understand that in a wide way, whether it's old tractors or old farm equipment or old bicycles, or by the Shannon even old boats or classic cars. People love these things, and they keep them in farmyards and sheds, and they show them at rallies. So the idea is that they would come to a venue in each parish, show these things off as a kind of little sponsored display. We make a bit of money for some appropriate seasonal good causes, and then we go into the church and preserve the hymn singing tradition by singing a hymn as well.
Very good. And what are the causes that you've chosen?
The causes are, I'm working with the Diocesan Council for Mission, and they have had endeavours on what they've called Mission Sunday over the years, a particular Sunday devoted in alternate years to an overseas cause or a local cause. I'm taking the Mission Sunday tradition and wrapping it in to this, so Mission Sunday will be in the middle of it all on March the 8th. And I've decided, since this is slightly sort of bigger endeavour than normally we have on Mission Sunday, to have both a local cause and a global cause. So the local cause, and this sort of fits in with the farm machinery, the local cause is to support an organisation called Embrace Farm, which impressed us a lot at a conference we had in the diocese last year about ministering to the agricultural community and the future of agriculture. And one of the things that emerged, amongst many things that day, was the number of mental health issues in the agricultural community, increased awareness needed in that area, and also how there are many farm families that meet with personal crisis, whether through life-changing accident or bereavement, or sadly on occasion suicide. And Embrace Farm works to respond to those situations, and it did a very impressive presentation at the conference last year, so I thought it deserved practical financial support through this endeavour. And then so it's a third of the proceeds. And then the other 2/3 will be going to our own well-known official Church of Ireland Relief and Development agency, the Bishop's Appeal. And they are at the moment, and this is something I think that's on all our hearts, they're working with on-the-ground courageous and heroic workers in the local Anglican diocese and in the agency Tear Fund to try to support the process of relief and in due course reconstruction in Gaza. So we will be giving 2/3 of the proceeds to Bishop's Appeal, and they'll divide those 2/3 in half. So one of their thirds will go to their trusted partners on the ground in the Gaza situation. The other third I'm entrusting to them to do what they wish to do with, in terms of emergencies that may arise, or perhaps less heralded projects that their committee may wish to support, because I was chair of the Bishop's Appeal for a long time myself in the past, and you realise a lot of earmarked funds come in, and that's very good. But if you're to run something that's to have a balanced programme of development and relief, you also need unencumbered funds that the committee can allocate when it looks at a whole range of applications. So the final third is for their discretion.
Very good. And you'll be visiting over 10 days in Lent.
Over 10 days during Lent. They're not consecutive for various reasons to do in my own diary, but over 10 days, really in the first half of Lent. Once the season starts, we're going to 30 venues. That's 3 on each occasion. Not as many as I did when I went travelling around doing stations on Good Friday, or when I played the organ in every church, because we can't have tractor displays at every single church, and we need to concentrate them more to 1 or at the most 2 venues in every parish. And also we need time to look at what people have kindly polished up and prepared and produced and enjoy the whole thing. So 3 venues on each of 10 days, 30 venues, which means in most parishes it'll be 1 central venue. In a few parishes that are geographically huge, there'll be a second one, and also in certain places where the central church mightn't be just logistically convenient for this sort of thing, we may do something more modest at the central church and something that is a bit more spread out at one of the outlying churches. The obvious one is in Galway, where if I sent a few dozen tractors parading into the centre of the city, it mightn't, to St. Nicholas's, it mightn't exactly ease the traffic problems of Galway. So we'll balance our efforts there between the city centre.
I don't think anyone would notice the difference.
And the outlying church at Oughterard.
Yeah, good. No, well, that's good that we're not tearing around quite so hectically, and trying to be reflective and to chat to people and enjoy it, and go into the church afterwards and sing a hymn.
We're going to sing, preserving that tradition to an extent. We're going to sing the hymn for the beauty of the earth when we go into the church at the end of looking at all the vehicles. And I've chosen that for a number of reasons. First of all, it's a good sing. Secondly, it's about kind of the beauty of creation, which is suitable to an agricultural atmosphere. And so we're thinking of Embrace Farm and supporting the needs of the farming community locally, but also we're thinking of farmers in the developing world that the Bishop's Appeal supports, and those who have to face the challenges of the scorched earth of Gaza. And furthermore, it's no harm to remember that we'll be bringing out vintage farming equipment, but a lot of the equipment that farmers in poorer countries use is what to us is vintage and even primitive, and they're still dependent, for example, on animal-drawn ploughing.
Yeah, and so it'll be interesting to see, because it's fascinating to see the popularity of tractor runs and things like that.
It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
And it captures interest in all age groups.
Yeah.
And if you see, too, coming up to Christmas, the number of towns that had illuminated tractor processions. So I think, it's an opportunity to plug into something that seems to be extremely popular, particularly in the countryside. And as I say, you would be amazed often when I'm doing parish days or visiting in our parishes, and I get a chance to go into the farmyard and perhaps ask people to show me what they have, and they'll open the door of a shed and suddenly you'll see this beautifully polished ancient tractor that makes sort of ceremonial appearances and which is treated with loving care.
Yeah, well, we look forward to seeing that, and also the residents and the communities that you visit as well. And so I think it'll be a very...
Well, I hope it binds the diocese together in a sense of common purpose. It gives me a chance to meet people. It's seasonal, it's a bit of fun, sociability is important, harnessing people's generosity and enthusiasm, and that gives a chance to say to anyone who's listening, each parish, I hope, will do some little bit of fundraising associated with this, so that on the day I come, there may be a cheque or something representing their harvested endeavours to hand over. But we welcome, obviously, any individual contribution, and if people want to make one, the diocesan website will guide them, or indeed there are leaflets and posters in hard and online form all over the place, and all you have to do is point your phone at the QR code and you won't be able to resist parting with money.
Very good. Well, I wish you every joy and success in your travels, and I look forward
Thank
to
you,
joining
and
you. Thank you.
look forward to your company.
Thank you very much.